Some rare champions in this game, they're gonna be absolute must build for pretty much everybody, and they're also gonna be account changing if you do pull them. So today we're gonna be covering some of these, which if you do get, you're gonna be extremely happy. We're gonna be showcasing what they're actually good at, just talking a little bit about why they're good and where do they shine. So let's get into it. My name is Midway, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Real quick before we do so, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and check out Aptoide as well. You're gonna be able to earn massive bonuses whenever spending money in Raid Shadow Legends through Aptoide. We'll talk more about this at the end of the video. For now, just know that you can get a lot more value for your money if you do so this way. Probably the most obvious one is going to be Coldheart. She's just extremely good for mid even to late game accounts. She's going to be allowing you to clear and speed farm some of the higher level content. As you can see, the ratings fully support that, especially in some kinds of extremely difficult dungeons like the Fire Knight and the Spider's Den. So if you get her, she's like an automatic level 60. You can even see like she has a bunch of skins even just because she's used that much, and she looks great. But the real deal about her is that she does a lot of damage with her A3. She's gonna be able to nuke enemy max HP, which is just gonna be amounting for a hell of a lot in most scenarios, especially versus bosses. And she also just allows yourself to just do a whole lot of AoE damage in general as well. So she's great for spiderling killing in the spider. In general, she's the must pick. If you get her, you're gonna be very happy. This is an example of what a couple Coldhearts can do for your team. As you can see, we are running 2 in this video. It's not my footage, but I'm taking it. And as you can see, they're just gonna be able to nuke this spider in only a couple seconds on a very high stage. Stage 20, she's just gone. If you want to join my team in Raid Shadow Legends, click the link in the description to get a free Narma as well as Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. Here's what you need to do. First of all, log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Then click the link in the description and register a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial, and then go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get a fresh start in Raid with a free Narma and 3 epic champs. Click on my link right now. Next up, one that you can get extremely easy because it's one of the starter champions you can pick is going to be Kale. As you can see, he's decked out on one of the skins right now, and he's just going to be extremely powerful for campaign farming, also very useful in like Spiders Den, even in Arena you're going to be seeing a lot of it. Demon Lord, he's just got massive ratings all across the board, and he's a rare champion, extremely easy to get, and therefore it's going to be so easy to deck out. You're basically guaranteed to get good use of him, so there's no shame in getting him to level 60. In fact, I'm very much recommending doing so. You're gonna be definitely grateful for doing so. Next champion gonna be extremely grateful to build is gonna be Bellower. He's an extremely quick campaign farmer. He's got an AoE attack on basically every single one of his skills. He also applies the weak version of every debuff in the game: decreased speed, decreased attack, decreased defense, and you can also pair that together with a certain blessing that's gonna be allowing you to just easily and nature's bounty over here to just randomly place one of the stronger versions of those debuffs, right? So not only he's extremely fast, very useful and handy for campaign farming, as you can see on the ratings here, he's extremely up there. Also very powerful for faction wars and like getting rid of those advanced quests that require you to clear a faction wars level with like a rare champion in there. It's gonna be just very handy. You can build him up on like a stun set, and with all his attacks at doing stuns, it's gonna be also great for Spiders Den, just to control those spiderlings. But in general terms, it's mainly used for a speed clear kind of champion. You're gonna be getting some 6, 7, even like 6, 7, 8 second clears if you deck him out real good, and it's gonna be extremely easy to build, so there's no miss on putting some effort and money into it. Next up, we're gonna be covering 2 champions for the same purpose, one of which is gonna be Gnarlhorn, and the second one is gonna be Renegade. Now, the reason these 2 champions are extremely important is that they are gonna be basically one tricks for the Phantom Shogun's Grove. Now, this is a boss where you will need to get a champion to always be attacked, right? And the way you do that is by increasing the crit damage of the champion above anybody else's, and these champions in particular do a very good job in that regard. Now, this one in particular, Renegade, also brings a decrease the cooldown of all ally skills by 2 turns, which enables combos which are going to be allowing her to be extremely tanky while she's taking the massive damage the Shogun Grove is going to be doing onto pretty much the single target that he's attacking. So if you got any of this, you're going to be very much welcome getting her decked out. You don't really need to put that much into her, but of course, upgrading her and getting her to 60, it's going to be very much guaranteed, almost pretty much required, as they are really especially important to get a Phantom Shogun's Grove team being able to kill the whole thing relatively easily without having just a generally extremely powerful team. With this sort of one tricks, you're going to be enabling to do so a lot easier. Next up, one champion that might be a little bit controversial, but who's definitely worth it, is going to be good old Diabolist, right? It might not be worth taking all the way to 60, but it's very much worth doing so up till like level 50. She's just in general a good champion that's extremely easy to get. It's campaign farmable from stage 3 3, or rather like level 12. You can get it from extremely easily over there. And as the ratings suggest, she's just good pretty much everywhere, right? Her skills allow her to just be usable everywhere. She has a turn meter fill, a turn meter decrease. She has a sleep debuff, which is extremely good for arena. As you can see, the arena ratings are great as well. She has an increased speed buff for all allies. She is just a good champion overall, right? Now, you're gonna be very much getting some use from her in that advanced quest, as we already mentioned, for just being able to put her into a team for the faction wars and just at least have one rare champion, so you can get that done. So if you just get one of these and like put them all the way up to like level 50, a little bit of gear on her, she is definitely gonna be worth using, like at least usable in those particular scenarios, and much worth like just having running early on in the game. If you're able to get her, like you will be very easily able to get her. She's gonna be very much worth just putting up online. Next up, the Painkeeper, sort of like the Coldheart. She's gonna be sort of the champion where you're gonna be enabling yourself to get use out of even 1 or 2 copies of themselves in certain particular teams, specifically for the Demon Lord, right? She has an ability that's going to be allowing her to reduce the cooldown of all skills by 1 turn, which is going to be detrimental to get these kind of teams where you have some sort of unkillable buffs or like a block damage buffs, which you need to be running at pretty much all points so that your team is able to get all the way to stage, or rather I think it's like turn 50. That's the max turn on the clan boss, right? So having this on this character online and leveled up, at least fully booked up, so you're able to get a good use of this one ability, right? Like being able to put it into a team, then statting her up and all that good stuff. Of course, if she's able to do good damage onto the clan boss, that is going to be especially useful. She's also great for the Doom Tower in many ways, like full rare champion sort of setups on their Doom Tower. You're going to be able to use her over there as well. Faction Wars, very good. In general, she's going to be doing quite some damage with a lot of AoE, a little bit of healing over there, as well as just mainly that decrease the cooldown on the abilities. Yeah, definitely worth getting at least 1 copy fully leveled up. Now we're going to be covering 2 rare revivers. First of all, it's going to be Tree Seal Knot, who's going to be bringing a double revive on side 3 with a little bit of shield applied after that. And then he also brings the decreased attack debuff, as well as a little bit of healing and an increased defense buff for all allies, right? For a rare champion, his budget in terms of the skills he brings is just insane. It's going to be very useful in many avenues, particularly for the faction wars as well. Like he's just going to be extremely valuable for his own faction, the Sylvan Watchers. Very budget champion, extremely good for, again, clearing that advanced quest we already talked about. And then just as a general rule, like bringing him to the Fire Knight Castle as well with that triple attack is always going to be very much handy. A reviver with a triple attack who's able to also apply a little bit of healing and buffing there with the defense. He is just very good. And very similarly, we have Reliquary Tender here as well, with very good reviews for pretty much everything. She has a revive as well. There we go, easily just a very good champion simply for having a revive. And then she also brings a cleanse for all allies, all debuffs for all allies, as well as placing heal on them for 2 turns, right? On a very short cooldown as well, 3-turn cooldown, which is going to be extremely important and powerful for things like some Doom Tower bosses. Like they're going to be applying a hell of a lot of debuffs. Faction Wars, always great if you have a rare champion in there for Faction Wars, and with that revive, it's always going to be extremely powerful. And the decreased attack in there as well, which is going to be allowing her to do some Doom Tower stuff, or rather Demon Lord stuff. She's generally a very good budget champion, easy to get. Of course, it's a rare, and if you do have her, be grateful to level her up. War Maiden as well, extremely powerful. She's going to be bringing the Crumbling Blast here with a 100% chance of applying a decreased defense, 60% the strong version of it, as well as doing an insane amount of damage. Very high target burst, single target burst over here with an increased attack on her, as well as landing a double hit here if it's critical, which it definitely should be. As you can see, the reviews are extremely high, particularly for Arena. She's a very good champion for that set. And then obviously anything that's like a good rare champion is going to be great for the Faction Wars. Frozen Banshee is another one that's quite great if you don't have any other poisoners in your team. That's why I would say she's sort of optional. As you can see, her ratings are straight garbage. It's except for just like 2 bosses in particular where you do need poisoners, which is going to be, of course, the clan boss as well as the dragon, right? So if you don't happen to have any other poisoners in your team for at least the first couple weeks, months, she is worth putting some effort into, right? Like, for example, I got myself a Kentum, so at this point she's like, there's no reason to have her in my teams, even though, well, at least she's a rare champion that I can use in the Faction Wars for the sake of just having somebody. Although, yeah, she's not really great outside of those 2 scenarios. So if you already have another option for a poisoner, kind of pass on her. But if you don't have any poisoners, you are wanting to build her up. She's going to be doing the job just fine. for that Dragon's Lore farming as well as a Demon Lord. She's going to be great on those two particular scenarios. One that's also sort of like a one-trick gimmicky champion is going to be Hellerborn Sprite. You want to keep her around because if you do have the Wixwell champion, which is a legendary, she's going to be allowing you and enabling a very strong champion composition for the clan boss, which is going to be allowing you to farm literally the highest level of clan boss and get to stage 50 extremely easy. And you can also like see that she's like in general a good champion, but particularly for that very specific scenario, she is going to be extremely powerful because of this one attack over here, which is going to actually, wait, let me find it, there we go, increase the duration of all skill buffs by 1 turn, as well as getting a little bit of increased crit rate, which is always nice. But that increased duration of all ally buffs is going to be allowing you to set up a sort of coating of shields for that Wixwell setup for the clan boss. If you don't know how that setup works, I'll probably do a video eventually at some point. I don't have Wixwell myself, so obviously I haven't really been able to assemble it just yet. Just knowing she's going to be extremely powerful and a key component for that setup. And the same goes for Bellower. She has that same effect on her A2, increase the duration of all ally buffs on all allies by 1 turn, as well as doing that for the enemy, decreasing the debuffs or durations of that. So she's got both a cleanser as well as an enabling that setup, which we already talked about. As you can see, the reviews fully back that up. Now, one that it's definitely good, but I wouldn't really say that you must level her up, is Crimson Slayer. She's particularly a strong turn meter controller with a triple hit. That's why it's so high up there for the Fire Knight Castle. Now, there's better champions that do the same role, so if you do pull one of those, you will regret putting your stuff into Crimson Slayer. But if you're struggling with a Fire Knight, that you probably will do eventually early on in the game, you are really gonna be grateful of putting a couple levels into her, maybe getting her to level 50. She does have that triple hit, as we already mentioned, as well as a turn meter steal onto her A2 for a 100% chance. Now, a big drawback of this champion in particular is that she requires a lot of books to fully level the skills up, right? So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit costly in that regard to get her running, but if you don't have anything better for the Fire Knight, you are gonna be wanting to get her in your team. That is as far as we're gonna be going today. Let me know if there's any rare champions that I missed that you think that there would definitely be worth being in this list. And before you go, please like, subscribe, enjoy the video, and check out Aptoide if you haven't done so yet. It's gonna be allowing you again to get massive bonuses whenever doing purchases in Raid Shadow Legends through Aptoide. You will be able to earn extra bonuses that go from extra 10% of that money you're spending all the way up to extra 35%. So as you can see right here, if I was going to be spending this much money, I would be getting this much as a cashback, which in turn I can use to buy the things for me without actually using my real money once I do have enough of it, right? So it's going to be allowing you to just get better stuff out of your money, more uses of it, more value for it. It's going to be very simple to set it up. There's going to be a link down there in the description explaining how to do the whole thing on your Android devices. Doesn't work on iPhone, unfortunately, so you can use it on your PC on like an emulator like BlueStacks or on your Android phone, for example. And then if you go ahead and use my code, which is going to be somewhere up here in the screen as well as on the description, you're going to be able to earn a bonus, can go from, or actually increase the bonus you get from this thing by a flat 5% for the get-go forever, right? So hopefully you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in this one. Bye-bye. See you.